Hi, my name is Kelly McElligott, and I have this tutorial video on using the offline circulation tool available through Windows that Kyle, one of our developers, has created. So one of the tools that are available to your library is the offline circulation tool that Kyle, one of our developers, has created for Koha. Now this is a program available through Windows, and you can download it to your desktop that you would use during an internet outage. Maybe your circulation desk would be the best place to download this offline circulation tool. You would go over to our GitHub website. It's github.com/bywatersolutions, and I will put this website in the notes attached to this video, so for easy access for you to be able to do that. There's just a little bit of information here, and you can see that Kyle released it, the update it is, and then here under assets, it's that exe file is the one you're going to want to download to your computer, and that's a simple click this link, save it to your computer, and then it's going to create an icon on your desktop once you finish that process, which looks like this. So it's a great offline Koha circulation icon that sits on your desktop, so when you lose your internet, you're just going to pop over to this Koha offline circulation and open it up. The great thing about this offline circulation tool, it's just very simple. It has some simple language here and gives you the opportunity to go ahead and scan a borrower card number and then start scanning the barcodes they've checked out. This is the Issue tab, which you would do your checkouts. There is the Return tab that you would go ahead and check in material that's been returned during your internet outage. And this is the History tab that shows everything that's happened during this session. With your Issues tab, if you do not have a borrower's file that you can access for this Koha offline circulation, you can still scan your borrower card number, accept it, and start scanning those barcodes. If you did have a borrower's file that you can get through Bywater maybe once a week and have access to download that to your desktop, then once you did that, you could scan the borrower card number and you would get a little bit more information about the borrower. You could confirm their name, you could actually see any checkouts and if there's any fines. After I go through this process of without a borrower's file, then I'll go through the process what would happen if you did have that borrower's file. So I'm going to go ahead and enter a borrower card number. Once I hit accept, the cursor will populate down in that item barcode, and it's going to ask me to add the barcodes. For my purposes, I'm having to type them in, but you will have your scanner, and that would work a lot easier for you. And then once I hit add item, it's going to populate down here. And if she had multiple ones, which she does, I'm going to go ahead and add that in there. And hit add item. Now, the first transaction that you do on this Koha offline circulation tool, you are going to have to save the file. So once I've finished with this borrower card number, I'm going to hit OK. Once I hit OK, it's going to ask me how I would like to save the file that's going to be created during this session. So I'm going to go ahead and name it the day of the week, December 22nd. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save that to my desktop because I find that very easy to be able to find that when I need to. It's going to default to saving it as a KOC file, which is exactly how you want to save it. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Now Koha offline circulation is ready for my next transaction. So I'm going to go ahead and add one more person to my offline circulation process. I'm going to go ahead and hit accept, and I'm going to check out an item to them. And then I'm going to hit add item. Once I'm done, I'm going to hit OK, and it's actually going to clear the form and allow me to go to the next borrower card number. I can go to that History tab, and now I can see that I've done 3 checkouts, the card number, and those barcodes and when it happened. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit Save, and I'm going to go ahead and quit this application, close the application. My internet has come back on. Yay! I'm ready to go to my Koha and upload this file. So I'm going to go back to my Firefox, open up my staff client, and here I am. My first step I'm going to do before I start any other transactions, hopefully, is I'm going to go to my Circulation tab. And what I want to do is I want to grab that file and upload it to Koha so everything's current. Under this Circulation tab, I have this Upload Offline Circulation file, and it's a KOC, which is exactly what it's saved as. So I'll go ahead and click that. It's going to ask me to browse for that file on my desktop, or in my computer actually, and I'm going to go ahead and grab that Thursday, December 21st, and hit Open. Once I choose my file, I'm going to go ahead and upload it. Now I have 2 options here once it's uploaded. I could add it to an offline circulation queue. So say I had a couple different files, I could add them to the queue and it could organize it by time, or I can apply it directly. Because I just have that one file, I'm going to go ahead and apply it directly. Once I do this process, I can actually see that I did do 3 checkouts. I could see the titles that were checked out and the people they were checked out to. So a successful offline circulation process. I'm going to go back to my Koha main screen, and now my next step is I'm actually going to do my offline circ, but I actually have a borrower's file that I can have access to maybe once a week, and if you wanted Bywater to give you access to a borrower's file weekly, then we can certainly do that. Now, given that your data could potentially be a week old, understand that there are things that could be different, but at least you have some information that you have to fall back on. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize this screen, and I'm going to go back into my Koha offline circ. But my first step after I do that, if my internet is out, my first step is that I'm going to minimize this a little bit. My first step is I'm going to go up to my settings, and I'm going to select my borrower's database file. So I actually have a file that I have access to from Bywater, and I'm going to go ahead and grab that. I usually save things like this on my desktop or my downloads, and I have it right here. There's my borrower. Card number, and I hit accept, and it's going to actually populate the name, any information that's in the Koha, and for these fields. So I can actually see the items that were checked out, and I can actually start checking out now. So I can go ahead and hit add item. Now once I'm done with this transaction and I hit that OK button, again, I'm going to be asked to save a file. This is every time that you start this Koha offline circulation tool, the first transaction you will be asked to save a file. I'm going to go ahead and save that as Thursday part 2. I'm going to go ahead and close my Koha offline circulation, go back to my Koha staff client, internet's back up, and I've done my offline circulation tool for that second time. I go to my circulation module, and I'm going to go through the same steps. I'm going to upload that offline circ, go find that Thursday part 2, and upload it to my Koha staff client. So this is definitely better than a piece of paper and a pencil. It's really easy. It's not intimidating at all. I remember the first time that we did it at my library, and it was one of those experiences that you're like, this is so much easier than a piece of paper and a pencil, and I don't know what I was so worried about. So I really hope that you learned a lot in this, this video, and thank you so much for watching.